Hey, check it out. We got two noseless XJs. Wonder what we're up to today. Hey, what's up guys? I'm Dan H and welcome to the project. I'm over here with the Toad 2. In the last video I took off the header panel. We got the nose off of this XJ, and I went ahead this morning and I took off the nose of this XJ. So I got two header panels off. Why? Because I need this straight fender. Well, straight for the most part. It's got a little ding over there, but no big deal. Let's check out the Toads. Here is the Toad's passenger fender, and it's got a ding right there. The ding's not the worst of it. My concern is the crack in the paint because of the ding. So we're going to remove this fender and we're going to put on this fender. It's much straighter. I'm going to get all the good parts on the Toad. The Toad is going to be a pretty perfect XJ when I'm done, and that will be just a decent rebuild. All right, so we're going to get into this fender swap. So step one is take off the nose. Feel like that scene from Richie Rich.
Oh my God, my nose! I look like Michael Jackson!
Yes, so without further ado, here we go. All right, let's go over all the fasteners to remove an XJ fender. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 right there on the top row. Then we have 3 on this side, this little this bracket here. You got options here. I'll go over that in a minute. So we got those 4, those 3, that's 7. There's 2 right under here. They are 8mm fasteners. They connect the bumper end to the fender. They're right up under here. Now you can't normally see this with the header panel on. Since I have the header panel off, you can see them right here. Normally you'd have to come up from the bottom. You just got to move this wheel well liner to the side. Got to be able to open the door nice and wide. And we got another one up there. There's 2 right here on this pinch seam. 1, 2. These are the most difficult to come off. You might want to hit this with PB Blast beforehand, or get a torch right there on the back. A lot of times these clips will break off, and then they'll just spin round and round and round, and then you'll have to cut it off with a cut-off wheel. And last, if you pry up this wheel well liner, you will see a little bracket that holds the fender onto the body. Now we're gonna have to take off this little fastener. They're very rusty. Don't break it. Hit it with some PB Blast and let it soak while you do all your other bolts. And very, very last, most importantly, you need one of these beautiful devices to take off the antenna bracket if you are doing the passenger side of an XJ. I can leave a link to this little device in my description. So you guys click on the description of the video, you go down to all my links, get all my affiliate links, and Amazon will throw me a little check every now and then. So I'd appreciate that, guys. So yeah, here we go. Let's start off by doing this. All right, pop it on a 7/8 socket right here and give it a little zap with the impact. Now these have been known to give me problems. You might need a cutoff wheel handy. Sometimes they strip, but we're gonna hope for the best today. Hey, when you get it, it should just drop right down. Perfect. Man, before I discovered that tool, I would just butcher those stupid things with vice grips. Sometimes I would put tape around it to protect it, but it's so much easier with that. Just go to the links and buy that in the description. Do it now, and like and subscribe while you're at it. So back to this front bracket, we can just simply remove 1, 2, 3 to detach the fender from this bracket, or in there, 1, come on baby, 2, and there is 3. Now if you have a dinged up XJ, like this Toad was in a little bit of an accident, so I'm going to use the straight bracket. If your bracket's fine and you just want to do a fender, you could just access these side ones. Either way, it's up to you. The XJ was nice enough to give us options. These top 4 over here, they should be easy, nice and straightforward. This top one could be a little tight. So to get that one, I got this 3/8 drive that has wobble capabilities. Not too bad. Ah, there we go. Check it out. Getting pretty loose. All right, gonna open our door nice and wide. Use this nice long shank to get these T27s. I just realized I'm missing a door check on the Toad, so that access might have been a little bit easier for me. So here we go. Cross your fingers, say a prayer. That was clean. You can see the rust, and you can see the PB blast dripping down. Let's make sure this comes out all the way before we celebrate. Hooray! Alright, I hit this with some more PB blast. I hit it with a little bit of a torch, trying to break that free. I do not want to snap it off, but here we go. I think it's time to try it. Alright, here we go. 10mm deep dish. Haha! Got it! Oh yeah! I'll put this in my pocket, and that should release this guy. Come on, baby. Whoop. It's preferable to use 2 hands, but hey, you get the idea. Nice. All right, we got that guy off. Now I'm gonna do that one. Both fenders are off. Now a couple things to address. You might be wondering, what the heck is this stuff? Well, this is just insulation. It goes up here in some kind of pattern to prevent wind noise from getting through this door and into the cabin. I don't think I've ever put this back on an XJ. I'm sorry, I just don't waste my time with it. Another thing, there might be shims. So these shims go in here. You might want to reuse these to adjust your body panels to get to where they should be, in, out, up, down. So save your shims. Also, while you're on this side, the passenger side, take a look at this guy. This rusty chunk right there this is a square nut, and it's welded to the body of your XJ. That is the battery ground. Now, if you come over here to the Toad, while I was working on the passenger side, I made sure I had this painted. So I got all the rusty stuff squared up, covered nice and neat. And a while ago, I had changed out my ground with a bolt. I got in here in this little cavity, put a bolt in, and there you go. Double nutted that bolt on. So yeah, so it's much easier to address all that stuff with the fender off. So go ahead, spend some time on your XJ, make it real nice. We're gonna go ahead and put the other fender back on, but make sure you connect this guy before you do anything. And where is that little bracket? Oh yeah, you gotta wanna make sure this goes on first.
Darling, you send me, I know you send me, darling, you.
All right, when you put on the fender, go ahead and rest it down like I did, kind of on my lap, on my knee. Make sure you thread this baby in nice and neat. And when you put the fender on the body, just kind of wrap it around, starting from this top corner. You're gonna want to make sure, where are they? Can you see these little tabs in there? Yes, these little tabs that are attached to the fender have to go in front of the bracket, so they got something to screw into. So I'm gonna make sure everything is lined up as good as possible, and then I'm just gonna hand thread in some screws. I'm not tightening any of these fasteners down just yet. Oops. Knock that over. Yeah, because I want to make sure everything is lined up, and I'm going to use the nicest looking fasteners and the spot that's visible. And before I go ahead and zip all of them in nice and tightly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my header panel on and tighten up a few corner screws, and I'm going to measure off this fender. So I'm going to get the header panel on here, drag it across here, make sure the fender is lined up with the header panel so the body lines are perfect. And then once they're all in, you can get some give and take, some push and pull. Once that header panel is lined up, we can zip in the fender and everything will be perfect. Oh yeah, don't forget the anti-seize.
Darling, you send me. I know you send me. Darling, you send me. I know you send me. Honest to you. Send me. Honest to you. Send me. Honest to you. Send me. I know you. Send me. Darling, you. Send me. Darling, you. Send me. I know you.
I got all these fasteners in nice and loose all the way up to here. I tightened in the last one because I got the gap just about where I want it. It's smooth to this cowl panel. It's smooth to the A-pillar. It's flush with the door. And I also zipped in this guy. It helps if you match up the paint markings around the rim of where the old fastener was. It gives you a clue on how much you're off. The door opens nice and easy, and there is a pretty consistent gap all the way down. The only thing I think I have to do is I'm going to bump this out just a little bit with this thin shim from the Toad 2. Now I'm just going to put it in between, where is it? In between the fender and the pinch seam. This way, rotate it up and lock it in. All right, gap is looking pretty good. Really like that. Nice and neat. This body line is just about perfect, so I'm gonna go ahead and zip in that lower door fastener. There we go. Let's come in here. Nice. All right. All that leaves is the front, and we'll play that game of give and take when we get that header panel in for final adjustment. Also, you know, you could lay the hood down too to see if you got to go up or down in the corner. Again, shims are your friend. You could always put washers under these guys to lift the fender up to match the hood. And that's pretty good. I'm going to start playing with this. I'll dial it in and get back to you in a few. There it is. Lines up pretty nicely. Nice and smooth. Basically just reverse engineered it by matching off this corner. And yeah, that's it. Looking pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. Let's just check the hood height in relation to everything else. And oh yeah, that's a pretty perfect corner. Pretty perfect corner. Excellent. I could always fine adjust the height of this part of the header panel when I get that dialed in. But yeah, I'm just gonna fasten in what I can, and then unbolt the header panel, tighten all the rest of the ones inside. If anything, I'll send this piece out just like a millimeter this way. But I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty sweet. All right, so once I finish doing the Toad, I'll put the fender back on Toad 2, and then I could do cool other stuff. Let me show you what I got going on. I've been working on the head for Toad 2. Check this out. Here you go, guys. Check this out. This is an 0331 Tuppy head from a WJ. Got it all cleaned up. It was a little rusty, not gonna lie, but popped out the valves And I got them in here soaking in evapor rust. Gonna get the rust off, and then I'm gonna give it a good valve lapping. Make sure they seat up nice and good with each other. So that's the head. There's the Toad 2 on its way to being a runner again, but it's gonna run like a champ, I'll tell you that right now. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the Fender swap video. I also have a Black Beauty Fender swap video. I did that a few years ago. Put a nice new black Fender on my Black Beauty XJ, and before I got that sucker installed, I went ahead and dinged it. So, what are you gonna do? Be very careful with your parts when you're flopping them around. But yeah. This is going to turn out great. That's the Toad, one step closer to perfection, and the Toad 2 is one step closer to being a driver. So let me know if you guys want to buy the Toad 2. Yeah, that's it. So I guess that's going to do it for this video. Of course, remember to like and subscribe. Check out the links to all those cool products and tools in my description below. Comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next project. Peace. There we go, guys. Check out this head. Just got it back from Motorheads in Patchogue, Long Island.
Patchogue, Long Island.
They went ahead, they magnafluxed it, made sure there's no cracks in it. They hot tanked it, got it all clean, and then beautifully milled the bottom. So this head is good to go, passed all the tests. Gonna get these valves in here, get these springs on, new valve seals, and it should be good to go. Heck yeah, Toad 2 coming at you on the project. Peace.